Just feel my heart inside. Our love can grow so bright. We found a way
outside lane, missing exits. I'm glued to the pavement, between the lines. I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire. No more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. It's time to break away. Forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. Cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel? Full steam through the setbacks. You can't win them all, but I'm proud I tried. I'm glad we had a dialogue. It's good to shape the mind. Speeding up the pace, turning up the heat. Where I need to be for the first time. Taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. Cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel? Don't you wanna, don't you wanna, don't you wanna feel break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway.
You said the same thing I told ya. My eyes are clear, there's no secret. I wanna know, was it serious? I need it clear, my best friend. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you. It's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. I keep my time in a pocket. I wanna find a new keeper. I like the way it's mysterious. I think I found my own way. to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. Trying to hold my feeling, I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way, I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something.
I smoke too much, I drink too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I smoke too much, I drink too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. 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 Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly, can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Hello.
And bam, we are live for the fifth week, fourth week, fifth week, fourth week, fifth week of development.
No? Fourth.
I believe fourth. Yes, that
When
one.
did we start?
It's been so long. For either the fourth or the fifth, you decide. Week of development. Yeah, today we're going to be going through the cards a bit and getting them out for the Roll20 to be tested. We're also going to, I guess, try. Essentially, we're going to do the card, the card day that we promised earlier, at least a bit of it. Since I think it would be nice to have them to have a look at the design as well, and make sure we are happy with the design. We need to. One of the very important things is to redesign how you identify instant speed cards.
Yeah.
I think that's a big kicker. To make sure that that is a lot more noticeable. Other than that, making sure that the undertext, the subtext, is also legible. So giving that like outline and a little bit thicker text, for instance, that's something that will probably benefit us greatly. Um, Other than that, the cards are still going to be those nice, sexy colors. Obviously, now the deception cards to have the new color assigned to them, the yellow.
Yep.
But other than that, I think we just get right to it. I'm going to just make the last looks at the cards here. One thing I noticed, we had some playtesting yesterday. With the old cards, though, mind you. And a lot of things that one thing that was commented on was that the type, as if like the rules for the type was confusing, and the reason almost it was because that they felt like there was rules attached to type instead of it just being more of a visual aid. So I don't know.
I think that might be because it's such a big area of the pamphlet.
Yeah, I think that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were looking at the pamphlet while they were discussing that. So
yeah.
Then again, the pamphlet is only for the card version, anyways, for the display version.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically at the verge of being like unplayable compared to the finished product.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna have to So I want to be able to have at least a good couple of online tests with these cards before we get these printed out. But I do want to get these printed out too. Because it's become agonizing to actually play the game with the old cards now. I'm like, oh, why did we do that? Why was that a thing? Although I was also surprisingly, there was also like a lot of cards that I had almost forgotten about that were like actually pretty good. But I think we've incorporated most of them. Like, I think the support cards here will basically appeal to those that like the kind of complexity from the old deck.
Yeah.
Because those they have the complexity, but now each individual card is a lot more unique, I think.
Let's see. I haven't looked over.
Yeah, you should probably also have a look over all the cards yourself. One thing, by the way, that Thomas said yesterday that I thought was a really cool idea. I told him about my idea to have a score system internally for the cards, because we were going to use scripts anyway, so we could like weight or value the scripts. What you can then do is that you can have a setting called weighted draw, which would essentially make sure that all the cards at the start were like had low score, so they were like the weaker cards, and then it would ramp up towards the end. And that would basically, specifically with all of our Twitch cards, that would make for a pretty interesting game, because then it would literally get wilder and wilder and weirder as you went along, and it would actually adhere very much to the concept of like learning through playing and like scaling up the advanced cards.
Yeah.
While you play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you read the cards, so I'll shut up.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, you've read them all.
Mm.
What do you think?
I like.
You like any other comment?
I don't know yet. I.
There's also new wildcards, by the way.
Mm.
I think I'm going to add one card for each type that is related to changing the dice, actually, just to make sure that I even have more.
Mm.
Because I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We essentially have like 8 cards that change dice specifically. Some other cards that then let you reroll, but I think we need more, yeah.
Mm. Right.
Yeah, so why don't you begin trying to look at the design of the cards now, and then like
Yeah.
see if
that's
you.
what-
I think the you know the icon you used for overload. Maybe we
Mhm.
try to use that for indicating that it's instant speed card, and maybe having that like essentially having that instead of the clock, maybe because so the clock. One nice thing about it is that it adds a nice like backing to the
Mm.
cards, which is to break it breaks up the like monotony of having like a flat color.
Yeah.
But what if it was just like instant speed cards had the lightning bolt in the back, and normal speed cards don't have anything? Because then it's very obvious even when you read it. But it's not in the foreground, which does kind of make it a little bit less obvious again.
Mm.
Wow, have the kittens been reset for the stream?
Have they?
Yeah, because I've got like the most someone has is 20, and like I have 15.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's no, it's this month.
Ah, right.
If you go
Of
under
course.
all time, you can see how much you got.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the 5th place.
Yeah, I did too much gambling.
Doesn't pay off.
Yeah, gambling doesn't pay, kids. Remember these wise words from Uncle Alistair. Alright, so I've added now 2 new cards. One is from Deception, it's called Deceive. Add or remove 1 from a dice rolled by an opponent.
Mm.
And then on support, it's called Persuade, and it's add or remove 1 from dice you rolled.
Right.
So essentially, it's 2 sides of the same coin. It's like you can
Mm.
change a dice, but it's either yours or someone else's. I'm also going to add, let's see, 1 for defensive as well. Whoa. What's going on?
Ikke med akkurat der, men OK. Can you
Mm?
where it says creator, just put
Yeah.
the correct 2?
Do you not know? Remember?
I really don't remember. I never use.
It's hang on. Fuck's sake, why does this autofill? M078, was it? There you go. Oh my god, no! I have that fucking thing where it like you have to add the studio part because for some reason it doesn't allow me to like edit it properly. It just like replace. It's like the edit and replace bug,
Lol.
which is really annoying. Be right back, Toilet.
Yep.
Bam.
Back.
Mm. So you figured out how you wanted to sign it or make it look?
No, I'm just trying to make Dropbox work currently. But yeah.
That's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you tried to want to have the lightning up there.
Mhm.
I like it. Clever. By the way, did you ever figure out if you could actually make the cards have rounded corners, or was that something that was impossible with this?
I think it's impossible with this, unfortunately.
Well, that's rats.
Hmm.
I think one way to also differentiate is also by the way we say the rules as written. Essentially, all cards can only be played at the start of your turn, right? And then say, but instant speed cards can be played whenever.
Yeah.
That way, it doesn't feel like there needs to be an indication of okay, there's a standard card and then there's instant speed cards.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do we have music on the stream?
No, we do not.
Fix it. What the fuck? Why is it doing like weird fucking editing now? It's so annoying. So every time I try to like write something new, like add a new word or something,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't add it. It just replaces what's there.
Okay.
Like look, if you look at my screen now, right?
Yeah.
So Theo, look at what's happening.
Click on ins.
Huh?
Click on ins.
Where? What in?
Right above your keys, or like the arrow keys. There's
Yeah.
ins, home, page up, del, and
Oh right.
click on ins.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you type now, it will.
Ah,
just...
there you go. Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah,
know
'cause what the fuck
about
is that?
ins?
No.
Oh. Jeez.
Turn one active face down. You can change back the view now too, by the way.
Yeah. True.
Ah, I see you're a man of culture. You like Why don't you just have the top line be almost make it like a black bar at the top, essentially, or at least try to make the circle have the same like. That's probably not possible. Because currently, like, you know, it doesn't have the same curvature as the corner.
I know, but it's kind of hard to make it not derpy.
Some of the icons are probably a bit too large, or the icons are maybe in general a bit too large.
No. How big are they on the card? In real life, though,
Huh?
they're not that big in real life. On the card.
How does that matter?
Well, it's this size comparison to compared to the rest.
Well, it doesn't fit within the circle.
I know. I was just thinking of making the circle bigger anyway.
I think yeah. What about both?
Hmm. It can't be too big either.
Well, no shit. For some reason, that made an optical illusion where it seems like the H is a T. It seems like you had written T 2 times.
Tusen!
Uh-huh.
Tusen!
Tucson.
Tusen!
But yeah, I'm not so sure about the black circles now. Yeah, I think you're on to a right track by having a bar that is rounded or something. That has the same, as long as you can make them have the same, like, kind of, I think, so you have it, yeah. Well, I'm liking what you're doing now, I'm liking the thinking. Just widen it, like, to the edges, maybe, so that it goes around. Because the icons can do with being smaller, as long as when they have a black background, it's fine. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh yeah, when they hit the circle like that, that's pretty fucking. That's pretty swish. I like that. Seems like they're like balanced on like a pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Make the icon smaller, I think.
It's very heavy though.
Yeah, it is. It also feels like it contains the card too much, if you know what I mean. Like borders it in too much. And it's also like it needs to be very sort of pixel perfect. It kind of adds to the when there's no border or nothing, it kind of, you know, you're not very fuzzed if there's like a pixel difference between the two. But now true, like it needs to be pixel perfect to be balanced properly. I don't think there's needs to be like a connecting point. I'm not sure. What makes it better if it's smaller or not? Makes it look like it's like a film spool, like a spool or something, like
Yeah, it does.
I still think that the aggressive icon needs to be smaller.
Well,
But
that's
not by
not something
much.
I can do with in here.
Oh,
That's because of the icon. All the icons are the same size. It's because none of the
because of the
other
weird-
icons are.
why don't you make it? I think what you do then is that you go into Photoshop and you have it
turn
upright, the sword upright, yeah, so that
Yeah.
it's upright, and then scale it to the right one, because it's the only one that's diagonal right now.
All right, time to lag a
That's-
little bit.
Opening Photoshop, yeah. Ah, your computer's the best.
Best in the world, better than a quantum computer.
Mm-hmm.
Need to be able to see something. Black background. There you go. Too. This.
Yep. I think we should maybe look also for see if there's any better icons for aggressive, because I just realized like it's very medieval,
It is.
where the others are
Absolutely.
very neutral, theme neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe find like the, you know, that fist, the classical like revolutionary fist icon or something for aggressive.
Hmm.
Go to one of the aggressive cards again.
There we go.
You need to make sure that the text is a bit further down, I think, now. Just to make sure that it doesn't go in. But actually, considering that the defensive is a shield, I think being a sword is probably not too bad.
Yeah.
Especially now that it conforms a little bit more by being actually, like, downwards.
Yes.
Maybe also we, because there's a lot of subtitles are mostly used for cost.
Hmm.
Maybe we should have a standard format for cost, or is it fine, you think, to have it like that, where it's just like cost, and then we just basically don't call it subtitle, just cost, essentially?
Well, yeah. I think it
But I'm
is.
starting to like the circles now that I feel like at least that they're balanced a bit.
Hmm.
Wait, didn't we change the sieve to be actually spelled right? What?
Apparently not.
Nope.
You what, mate? Take a look here.
What?
Inside A.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Every that has an A has that problem.
What the fuck? Some of the A's to E's too. Doesn't it detect the fact that it's because it's this program that does the outlining, right? The borders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
Maybe-
something I can do anything about.
The size of the kerning. Also, is it just me, or does the shield feel a bit squished?
West. It isn't. It is completely the same. Is it just me now, or is the sword not completely straight? Yeah. Not. That's what's wrong
What?
here with that sword. Left and the right side isn't equal.
Mm.
Jesus Christ.
There is one more thing with the icons that I feel
Yeah.
annoys me a little bit. Look at how much space the aggressive takes compared to the shield. That's basically fine-ish. Yeah, it's like it's a lot.
No, it's not. I don't see much, honestly.
Yeah, not on that. Okay. Then on the deception, it feels a lot wider.
Yeah. It's because they've all had like a very similar shape. The defensive and aggressive have very similar shape. It's like a triangle shape. Due to the way that the sword works, and this one has got like it goes wider immediately.
Yeah.
So with the deception, I think you can solve it by if you have it a bit further down, just a few pixels down, so that it feels like the tip is at the same place. Because then it doesn't feel.
They are.
Yeah, but it doesn't because it's because of the visualization, the widening effect. It doesn't feel like it.
I think that's maybe okay, but now the real problem is this. If you look compared to aggressive,
yeah, but that feels fine, honestly, because it's more of a detailed. It's more of a detailed, and you can actually quite easily see that there's actually the same height, at least.
yeah, that's true, but it's so much heavier.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's why I said like because the iconography is very different. The sort of icon style is very different from because this one is like the super simplified, like abstract.
Yeah, it's super
And then you have-
abstract. And then
Yeah.
the aggressive is like a lot. It's abstract, but it's
Detailed.
detailed with the line separating the swoosh on the end of the sword.
Yeah.
And it's also the sword has
It feels smaller as well because of it.
Yeah, it feels smaller, and it's because also of the dark line in the middle.
I think we'll find we try to find another aggressive icon that is concurrent with the current style that we use for icons. Methinks. So just go to the same website that you used to go to for those icons and see if you find a better one. That's in style. Maybe try to find a simpler sword, essentially. Because I think it was a good idea to use the sword, especially with the shield as well. It's got a nice like balance, like it's got a nice rhythm to it.
Yeah. There isn't very many swords.
Any single swords?
Mhm.
Maybe there was one with 2 cross swords, but that one maybe as well it's too.
It's too wide. I think. Yeah, cross sword.
Maybe the cross swords shouldn't be too bad. That one.
Well, it's still diagonal.
Yeah, but no, but that's fine because it fills space. Maybe even if you've removed the empty space between to make it even more simple. Like remove the. Actually, no, I like that. You could, for instance, remove the lines in the middle of the swords, fill them in with white. Essentially,
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty good because we have no like contours for any other the icons.
Well,
But yeah,
for
it would feel wide in comparison to the defensive, but it wouldn't feel wide in comparison to the others.
Mm-hmm. Well, Deception is the only other card that has somewhat of a similarity to it.
That's true. It does have some contours.
Then
So if you put them next to each other, if you put the one we were looking at and the Deception one, because do they play well with each other? Do they have like the same harsh lines? No, because the Deception one has very sort of very mild lines with like curvatures and stuff,
yeah.
whilst this one has those harsh like break lines.
I'm not
And I
quite
think
a
that's-
fan about the Deception either, actually.
Yeah, we might as well look for a different one for that too. But I don't know if there's any simpler ways to do that two-faced like kind of Deception icon. It's
A question mark?
question mark. I don't know, maybe like the Riddler essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know if it would. The question mark is like that. That seems just that there's a type missing. You know, well, I don't know what the type is. Like Jester hat, maybe. Clutching at straws, searching for deception. That's very abstract.
Like the fact that Texas pops up. Jester. It was only just one. It was just one.
What about a
Jester hat.
bell?
Hmm?
A bell?
A bell.
Yeah, like you know, ding 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 ding. One of those bells. I don't know why, but it just
Rattlesnake.
felt. No,
The Jester is down there. No, tells. Bell.
because it's like the cross for support is so goddamn simple. What if we take because the support is essentially the healer, right? And the defensive is the tank. So if we just think in the same way, right? We go for MMO, the MMO sort of concepts.
Yeah.
So what is DPS? What is the if you search for DPS or something? Because it's obvious, it's the game icons. They have to have like the DPS as a tag. So just search for DPS. Oh, they don't. Okay. Striker, maybe.
It's a
'Cause
sword,
and then you have
basically. It could be.
yeah.
That one is obvious. Healer. Not that kind of tank. That kind of support.
Maybe deception icon can be like a raven. Or maybe like a grinning face. Or a snake.
Yeah, I was thinking a snake as well.
Like Sly, like if you search for Sly or something.
Yeah. I was looking at these as well.
What? Well, that's literally World of Warcraft icons, though.
They're inspired.
No, they're literally World
No.
of Warcraft icons.
They're World of Warcraft inspired. But yes, they are very similar.
Yeah.
They aren't the right icons, but very, very similar.
It's like some 5th grader tried to draw over them.
A hooded figure.
Yeah, but that might be too specific to like, yeah, maybe that could work.
Cultist, yes.
But then again, that's not abstract enough, I think. Because it doesn't fit in with the whole, like, with the cross and the shield, you know? I think, like, because the cross and the shield, that's, like, simple messaging. I still think swords should be aggressive. But then you have to find, like, the cross, something opposite of the cross, basically. Like something that is antithetical to the cross of the healer. But it's as simple as the cross, which is, you know, pretty harsh object. Deception could also be an eye. Could be an eye, like a very simplified eye.
Could be an eye. It's almost like we should probably just make these icons ourselves.
Yeah, but we still need to find the theme and what we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do is we would find like we would go through and find like a pack essentially where the size and style is the same, and then we trace it, the basic shape, and simplify it even more.
Yeah.
Also making it ourselves covers our asses later down the line. So
Mhm.
we'd have to do it either some way. We would have to do it at some point, either way. But yeah, I think the if you make it just one sword, take one sword from that cross, and flip it to so it's like face down, and then remove the center line,
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
and then trace around it instead, so that you have your own vector, so that there's no problem with scaling and shit as well. And then you can probably make a better looking cross guard as well. Because doing it like this is kind of ghetto. Maybe make it like a dagger instead of a sword, essentially, so that it can be wider without looking
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Which again adds to the you should probably trace it idea. Just make a point drawing, essentially. Should be pretty easy. Bigger handle, smaller cross guards. The crossguard's pretty fucking weird, man.
I meow.
You know you can. Yeah, you've already done it. Right. If you think of the scale of a human hand control what like a fucking dagger is supposed to be, like
Yeah.
right now it actually looks like a kitchen knife without it being like if you didn't duplicate it.
Yeah.
Looks like one of those you cut like meat with. Fillet knife. Mm-hmm. Again, problem with that is problem with the dagger, the straight up dagger is the it's still like weird width wise. That's why I like crossed swords and like why it's normally diagonal.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know, it's got weird proportions. See, that's got again the same issue. It's like it's competing with like a straight up cross. It's there has to be simplicity. Okay, you know what? Abstraction. So why don't we say that everything has to be a shape, a simple shape, right? So say that the deception is a triangle, and the support is obviously the cross. Aggressive is probably like a pointed triangle, you know, that's the other way around. And the defensive is a diamond shape. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because deception is a triangle because triangles, especially on their tip, represents like it's the unbalance or the balance and the excitement of it being obviously in the mid, like it will fall either side, you know, if it was a real thing. It will fall to either side, so it's like the... Oh wait, hang on. Look at my screen right now. These shapes here. So you have aggressive, defensive, deception, support. Hang on, I'll give you...
Yeah, I see it, but I don't think they're gonna be very readable because they're a little...
No, but you fill in. You fill in the insides. Basically. Maybe even this can be support and you just fill in this side. And it'll actually be a hand symbol. So it's more again for inspiration for what symbols we can actually use.
Mm-hmm.
And these would be also quite visible in the one cool thing you could do. It's in the because they're in the black circle, they would be quite visible because you could even use the color. You can have them be the actual color of their type as well.
Yeah.
That would also help indicate what the color stands for.
Mm-hmm.
May I go back to your screen?
Yeah.
There's no heart beating inside your chest. It's vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. Never to be seen again.
I'm playing around with the abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably not a bad idea. I like where you're going with this. I really like where you're going with this. That's the type of abstract bullshit we need to go for. That seems very aggressive or deceptive, actually. Deception, maybe.
Deceptive.
I don't know. It's like when you, with that with that extra like sharp bit, it seems aggressive even. Yeah, that seems like hammer and anvil, almost like aggressive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Punch a spike through something, you feel like.
Yeah. And then I was thinking this.
that somehow feels defensive. Because
I know,
it's
right?
like you make like a circle around like it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Try to incorporate that sharp bit and everything. So like that is
that's,
you defend the sharp bit. The other one is you ram the sharp bit in through something.
that's exactly what I was thinking. So something like this, and then dark that, and then this.
Isn't it a bit spooky to use black and black, because you know it's, if it's PNG then it's gonna be looking weird if it's white on white or white on black, or not white on black.
And I'm just using it as a mask, so I.
Is it actually masking though, or are you actually just faking
No.
it?
It's faked like this, but when I merge the
Images?
yeah, the what's it called, the shapes, I can make it so that the
It detracts instead of I know what you mean.
subtracted. So then it actually is an actual icon in the end.
Seems like a gun sight as well.
Yeah, or enlighten.
Yeah. So let me look at the aggressor again.
I has an idea.
Okay.
Or maybe not. There's something wrong. There's something strange going on here. With a feeling that gave. Like okay, when I look at this on my screen, it feels like this part up here somehow is squished. I have no idea what causes that. And it's like it's not it's like it's skewed somehow in a way. I have no idea. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, do you see that?
No.
When I rotate it, it's not like it's not rotating on its completely middle.
Yeah, I know. Notice now. Oh, what's that fucking effect called? Where it's like
It's like
wait,
it's
and a
offset.
rolling. You know what? When you have that moves forwards, you can the top of it is blurred,
Yeah,
whilst the bottom
it's
is
like,
cleared.
This is very what I think. It's like it's moving like this, but like just slightly.
Yeah. Maybe it was. Maybe if you didn't have it centered.
Well, no, look.
Yeah. Well, no, wait. I know why. Because it's not symmetrical. Because of the points, the amount of points. It doesn't have the same amount of points on either side. So when you move it around, it doesn't. It looks like it moves weirdly because it doesn't have like the top and the bottom don't have the same points. It's because of the shape. If you look at the square instead, the square circle, the square around it, you'll see it does pivot around in the axis. Why don't you just mask it out in the start instead of doing it black?
Huh?
Why don't you just like mask it out immediately instead of making it black?
Because it's harder to change the mask. Those words. I don't, since I don't have CS. Wait, yeah, CC. I mean, Photoshop CC. I can't like have shapes as masks.
Oh, okay.
It's not possible. And this way I can also like build upon what I already have as a mask easily. Man, that was very abstract.
What if you use the dice as like as a rounded square, aka like what would be a dice, and then you have each icon essentially represents what it does to the dice. So like defensive protects it, like so you have a shell around it. Aggressive probably like exerts force onto it, so you can have like force lines onto it. And then support like heals it or strengthens it, and deception hides it. So, you know, kind of, I don't know. I don't fucking know, my dude. Like that might be too advanced in in how it shows it, but and it also needs to have a unique silhouette. That's like a big part of it. Immediately legible. I like that icon though.
I do as well.
If you put it in the way where it feels like a play button, essentially, because then it's like it feels more action, you know.
That's very action, yeah. But kind of like it like this. That's
But
a
when it's
treat.
up, it's like a lot more symmetrical.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Take it easy. And you know how to forget all the wrongs and every reason why we've changed. And there's a storm inside my head. It's getting me in trouble, baby, and I can't break away. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before. So take it easy, take it easy. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before. So take it easy.
What icon are you working on now?
hmm?
I feel like the stability there makes it feel very defensive. What's the type you're going for here?
I don't know. Like something.
Because it could be either support or defensive. Maybe like have because you could go for a very literal interpretation of support with like actually making it be supports to something, like, you know,
Mhm.
like a supporting
thinking, like,
structure.
yeah, it was. I was thinking the like the base here, this part, was like something that's grounded, which basically like a wall, shield wall, or like I don't know. Yeah, well, mostly something.
I think you need to remember. So what I said that I liked about that like sharp, that like sharp thing you had in the aggressive one. Maybe like, as I said, try to keep a communality. You know,
Mhm.
like have that if you go back to the aggressive one, you know, that like pin in that the nail essentially in the square, have that be like commonality between all of them, and then have the shape interact with them and based on like what the card is or what the type is supposed to do. So like, as I said, with the aggressive one, that's like it's all about like using it aggressively, you know, to attack with, and then defensive you have some shape that is inside of it, or that it's inside of, that sort of like protects it, and then support is literally it being supported by something. Because I don't know, I don't think those two shapes that you've made fit together out well.
No, they don't.
And you need to also try to make the all the lines have the same thickness as well. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
You should maybe make them all in the same PSD for now, so you can
I am.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to put this to the side, I think, and then jump onto to make one of the others. 15 minutes left-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
So I said, no, 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 it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you that to me? I killed, I know, want to free for champions. I can't believe it's rolling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you that to me? I killed, I know, want to free for champions. I can't believe it's rolling.
Wait a minute!
said, no, 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 it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you that to me? I killed alone, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're falling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you that to me? I killed alone, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're falling.
What is that you're going for here? Is that a defensive one?
I don't know. I was just doing something.
That's a shape, and that's another shape. That's some more
Yeah.
shapes. I think just that, without all the like extra bits, could be a like good defensive one actually. As long as you try to make it the same width and size as the aggressive spike. Because that's like a shield that's been spiked essentially. Or a shield protecting the spike.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized. Sounds I'm breathing in, hold tight,
The difference?
Yeah.
echoes collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever.
You should also try to like have some basic like rules that you keep to when it comes to like designs to keep the commonalities. Like there should be, for instance, like one shape with one major change essentially. Not have it to not like have too much complexity.
Yeah.
You should also remember that they will be in circles as well. So maybe make a background the background the circle just to see that they like kind of fit in with the whole circle concept.
Mm-hmm.
It actually reminds me a lot of the iconography for Paragon. If you've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a lot of like the logo for Paragon actually, that icon.
The triangle, aggressive triangle.
Yeah.
I get what do you mean?
All right, you ready to close up shop, my friend?
Yeah.
Gosh. So what's the one you're making now? Is that defensive?
I guess it is still. Yeah.
I'd maybe support. No.
It's not support. Gone away from that again.
All right.
It feels more defensive-ish. So yeah.
Yeah, because the whole like cocooning thing, you know, it
Mhm.
feels like it's a cocoon. All right. Well, so you're making them all in the same PSC, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, don't do that.
That looks like it looks like a tie almost. Yeah.
Or a
Either
tie.
way, time to close up shop.
Yeah.
So just tell me when you're ready.
Guess I can be ready.
So I guess we'll continue tomorrow then.
Yeah.
Try to see if we can get it done, and I'll I'll try my hand at this as well, since it seems that it's a bit of a project.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe not, because they wouldn't be as consistent then. I guess I could try to see like a different set, instead of working on like I'll do aggressive and you do defensive. We just do like we brainstorm different sets instead, I think.
Yeah.
Either way, that's it for today. So I guess we'll try. So yeah, because I kind of want to have the cards ready for the weekend so that we can try and do some testing then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way, I guess we'll see you tomorrow or in the next video.
Mm-mm.
Yash. Bye.
See you.
up, we gon' burn it down.
your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and